You're listening to Catherine Feeney on ABC Radio Brisbane and Queensland.
You are indeed. And what are we doing to ensure that our threatened species do not go the way of the dodo? Apart from the hand-wringing, it seems not much. According to conservationists, Australia's system of species management needs a total overhaul if we're to have proper recovery plans in place for the long-term survival of our threatened, endangered and vulnerable species. Joining you to discuss this, Professor James Watson. Good afternoon, Professor.
G'day, Kat. How are you?
I'm well, but I hear that our endangered species might not be. What's going on?
Look, Australia is facing an extinction crisis, and it's been well documented for years. I don't think many people really understand the full scale of it. We are world champions, gold medalists at letting species go extinct. No nations have lost more of their species than Australia has in the last 200 years. And unfortunately, it's not just the species we've lost. We now have 1,600 species that are formally listed as endangered, and it will go extinct unless formal action isn't undertaken, which is incredibly sad and something we need to think about when we think about our future and what we're going to give our kids and the future world we want to live in.
The report that I read this morning made a point about the fact that our recovery plans, or the plans that have been signed off on by various levels of government, aren't being properly followed through. Is that what's going on? What can we do to fix this situation?
That article is excellent and raised the most obvious point, and that is we've got an excellent act that you can list threatened species on it, and action therefore should be taken. What the federal government should then do is create a recovery plan with experts, stakeholders to actually go out and secure these species from extinction. But what has happened more and more so, and in fact unbelievably so in the last few years, is that no plans are being generated for these species, which means no experts are being consulted around how to save these species, and it means that nothing's being done about it. And lo and behold, what do we find is that every time we look for these endangered species, they are declining rapidly. There are very few cases of species improving their status, and almost all species that are actually assessed are declining. So we're just not doing enough.
Professor James Watson is with you. He's from the School of Earth and Environmental Sciences at the University of Queensland. James, what can I do to help?
Look, I mean, as a citizen, the one thing you can do is contact your local politician and actually go and say, look, are you aware of the fact that the government right now is actually not taking responsibility for the act that actually secures biodiversity from extinction? I think just general raising awareness to politicians and actually making it a political issue and say something that we actually care about biodiversity, and we actually care about the fact that our natural heritage is being eroded in front of our face. And by making that point, I think you would hope that the federal government would take it seriously and just put more money and more effort into securing species. The amount of money being spent on threatened species and securing threatened species has declined over time, not increased. So we are doing less and less in a time of more and more crisis. So as a citizen, I would say if you care about nature conservation, pick up a pen or pick up a phone and ring your local member of parliament and ask them to stand up for species that can't speak for themselves.
Well said. Professor James Watson, thank you so much for your time and your rallying cry this afternoon.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Professor James Watson there from the School of Earth and Environmental Sciences at the University of Queensland. Yeah, pick up a pen. Let someone know.